you so much, Vanessa, for coming onto my podcast. I am so thrilled that you are here. I basically saw your picture and then Instagram stalked you. And I'm not ashamed to say
Love it.
it was awesome. Like I found you through like a Filipina hashtag, and then that led me into like this inner webs of like TV, and it was beyond glorious. And I was literally stunned. And it's not even to like, it's obviously to gas you up, but also to like, it's like so genuine my reaction to the picture that I first saw of you, because I've never having Filipinas represented in any industry is amazing,
Mhm.
especially in the beauty and fashion world. It's like you were like the unicorn that I found, that, I was like, oh my God. And not only that, but that you were plus size and being a curvy model,
Yeah.
fantastic in itself, because I'm Mexican and Filipino, but being um, in a majority, based Filipino family, and being the curvy one in the family was not that easy, you know.
Yeah.
So I was just so intrigued by your story. So can you bring me to like the beginning? Like, where are you from? Like, how'd you get into the beauty industry? Because you're not just a model, you're also a makeup artist
Mhm.
and beauty blogger. Can I call you that?
Yep. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Looking busy, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. First and foremost, I want to say, Nicolette, thank you so much for having me on. It's really an honor to be on your podcast. A
Yes.
year of doing this, I'm so proud of you because the podcast world is so saturated. Not It's not saturated with
No,
like any Filipinos. Like it's just like dime a dozen. Like honestly, so I'm so happy that you're doing your thing too, girl. My story. So I was actually born in the Philippines,
okay.
and I immigrated here when I was 3 years old. My dad was in the Navy and he brought our family to the States. Firstborn, first generation, college graduate. And so as the oldest, I was kind of like played mother a little to my younger brothers. So I have two younger brothers, and we're all very, very different, and we all have our interests and like ambitions. But I actually like got started in like the makeup world when I was in college. I did like everybody like fashion show where it really highlighted beauty in all forms, and I volunteered to do everyone's makeup. I was like, you know what, female, male, doesn't matter what your gender is, doesn't matter what your size is. They like included everyone. And I went to the University of Washington, so it's a very diverse campus. And when I did people's makeup, it's just like that feeling you get. Like I like brought you happiness and self-love in a way that you just don't see. It's like, oh, I doing a makeover, like having I don't know if you watch a lot of makeover shows, but they give me so much like joy because it's just like the beauty was always there in within. It's like people just want to see in a different light, and it's like giving them that gives them so much joy. And so that kind of like started like my love for makeup. I actually didn't wear makeup throughout like high school. I started in college, and ever since then did not stop. Yeah, girl. Like I don't know about you, but my strict Filipino mom was like, "Don't wear makeup. Like it's going to age you." I'm like, okay. And of course I had like acne, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like self-conscious in high school, and I've always been the curvy girl, like also in my family. And among my friend group, I'm always like the bigger one, and so I, of course, in the back of my mind felt kind of insecure, but I told myself like that's not going to stop me from being who I am. Like I just want to like, so I put myself together. I like, chose clothes that actually like fit me right, did my makeup, did my hair. I was the only one showing up like with my makeup and hair and outfits. All
That's
my friends were like, where are you trying to go?
here. We're just living, okay? Yes. No, I love that. I
Yeah.
mean, so now I want to like deep dive into that a little bit. Like, now, how was that being the big girl? And then not only that, like, and it is not to bash our culture. It is just like, hey, these are facts. Like, being
Hmm.
in a Filipino culture, it is very judgy, and
Yep.
being plus size, that stuff is kind of hard. Also, depending if you have like a family that is just do not care. They have no filter. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it was not only because I'm biracial, but it
Mm.
was like that I was never Filipina enough. And then on top of that, I'm also the big one out of everybody, you know? So then how was
Hmm.
that for you being plus size growing up, hella Panay? How do you like grow to love all that is amazing here, you know?
Yeah, no, it was a struggle from the beginning. Like I remember I was just telling a friend at this story. So I actually like my mom enrolled me in so many like activities when I was younger, like gymnastics, piano. She wanted me to succeed, you know. She did as much as she could, but when I did like gymnastics and ballet, I remember like I couldn't even climb the rope. And like the girls were like, "You're fat." And I was like, I am like 7 years old and you're calling me fat?" And ever since then I was like, I'm not going to let that control me, like, you know. And it's like you don't have the power or permission to like attack me because I know my worth. And luckily, you know, like my parents, they're so loving. They do give me tough love, like don't get me wrong. My mom's always like, let me be hard on you so no one else is hard on you. And so she's always like, you know, you got to lose weight, you got to, you know, do this. And in time, as I got older, as I became an adult, I told her, I was like, Mom, I'm not asking your permission for any of this. It's like I'm telling you and just letting you know, like I'm on my own journey. You know, I did do like a few like weight loss, you know, programs and whatnot, but over time I just decided like, you know what? Is this really making me happy? It's not. So I decided like with Anne, like as I became an adult, like I'm going to take that power back. Like I understand tough love, but I also have to tell, you know, people it's like I'm gonna lean into this. And by leaning into it, it has become so fruitful in my career. Like honestly, because if I was ashamed of being curvy plus size, like I wouldn't be able to land like my modeling gig or my, you know, like different sponsorships. So I'm happy that I did lean to who I am because I just don't care what people think of me, you know. And by doing that, it's actually inspired like a lot of my friends, people in my life. And so if I can make an impact on someone else, like I know, like, you know, my work and the world is like on the right track. So
Yes. Oh, I love that so much. Because plus size Panay girls are so common. But
yeah.
in beauty, fashion, entertainment, we don't see them. Oh, Lord have mercy. So we don't see that. And it's one of those things where it's, when I saw you, that's why I was like, oh man, like I could feel it. I could feel it that we're going to have this awesome conversation because it was the same. Me having a plus size, me being plus size, and then me being um, in a Filipino family. It was something that was so, it. They gave me so much tough love, and they told
So
me
much.
well. It all came with love, but it was one of those things where it was like, because they raised me tough, that's why I had to take in all of this
Mhm.
to succeed in life, because I wouldn't have been able to do any, to take any leaps, right, of faith, unless I was
Yeah.
okay with everything that was right here, because
Yeah.
all bodies are amazing and beautiful, and us being plus size makes us no less and no less pretty, you know.
Yes,
That's why I was just like, I
yes.
knew it with your aura, girl, that I was just like, oh, I need to talk to her, and that is awesome. So then, tell me how, like how it was, like how did you start your modeling career? Because that takes a lot of balls, like not even to be PG, but that
Yeah.
takes a lot of balls because girl, when we're big girls, you gotta like show out even more than the other girls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gotta come in already, you know, knowing that you are A1. You know, so how was that?
Yeah.
Bring me on that
Yeah, so I've been super consistent on like Instagram or my social media, and in the back of my mind, a lot of people had said like you should be a model because you post like these photos and they're like really great, and I'm like, oh, thank you, taking it like as a compliment, like yeah, like one day, but not really, not really believing that I can do that. But I never really applied to be a model. I actually just put my stuff out there on social media, and then someone like people discovered me on social media, like how you're discovering me. Like there's like the modeling recruiters discovered me, and like different brands discovered me. And so I think it's just like trying to be genuinely myself, and also putting out content that I like, what I would gravitate towards on social media, I try to put out there too. Like, like people who are proud of who they are, and like, trying to uplift others around them. That's like what I'm all about. So, I honestly think like that was like the beginning, like just putting it myself out there and being consistent with it, putting good quality stuff, like not things, I'm just doing it for the likes or anything like that. It's like, am I doing it, and what is it part of my purpose, so that's kind of what started my modeling career. I'm very blessed and lucky to have like a boyfriend who takes great photos, one. And so the Instagram like boyfriend, right? And so I like edit all of my stuff, but he's definitely very talented and very artistic. Like he has his own art stuff going on, but he helps me out taking photos. And so we just put all that out there, and like people seem to like it. And as curvy girls, it's hard, we don't pose the same as models that are skinnier. Like there are tricks, right? Like you got to put like your arm on your hip, and you got to like give yourself a little bit more like volume, dimension. And so I think like in the past, plus size like clothing was always like blankets. It's like you're shaming and like hiding your curves. And like recently I've discovered, like I'm always on like looking at plus size websites, looking for like clothes that will make me look almost like those models that that aren't plus size. And so like I like discovered like Eloquii, and like like even just like skies, or like blue, like all these different brands that actually have like plus size that look good, and it's not just a blanket all over you. It's like we are no different. Like yes, we are a little bit bigger, but we're we still like style, we still like color. And so it's like celebrating your body and being able to like feel confident. Like I feel very empowered when I dress nice. I'm like, I got a nice jumpsuit on, I feel like I could take on this world, like. So I think in the modeling world, I wanted to like be like break some barriers and be that for people. And so I think people have recognized that, and take some style inspo. And so I feel happy. I'm like, honestly, it's surreal to like even say I'm a model, like, because 10 years ago there's no such thing, there was no such thing.
Right.
But
I mean, it's like, I mean, I feel like the only person that really comes to mind truly is like Ashley Graham.
Yeah. Yep.
And there's probably a couple that I don't know by name, but just because me looking at fashion and like clothing online, I know some regular faces, right? But Ashley Graham's probably the only one. That's why it's like for any. But now it's awesome the time that we are living in. The past probably 10 years, people embracing just plus and curvy girls is there's more representation. And you're right, because you are so authentic to yourself. That's why I feel like I found you, and why have you got into modeling and you being discovered, because you're being your absolute true self. You'd be doing this regardless if you wanted to, this is what you were doing before everything else. Like the blessings came after, You recognize your worth, and
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. Exactly.
so tell me how the I don't want to say collab, like how the whole thing with Ulta come about, because that is
Yeah.
amazing. Your face being multiple nationwide Ulta stores, honey. How did you get that? And then in the middle of quarantine, like you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
it's easy to see you thriving during this time. It's really great.
Yeah, no, I feel very blessed, honestly. With Ulta, again, like how SMG, the modeling agency that discovered me and how you discovered me, is all on Instagram. Like, it's crazy how social media has that power to like lift off careers. Like, with Ulta, I've actually been selected to be part of their Ulta Beauty Collective, and so they select one person representative per state. And so I've been doing that for like the last year. And they approached me and they said, you know, we really like your content. Can you, you know, create with us for this holiday campaign? And I was like, of course, I would love to, because it was one opportunity. And also it was like the power to allow me to like purchase a home, you know, like I am in the middle of moving, and it like gave me that like mobility to be like, yeah, I need a bigger space to one create and to like grow. So yeah, I honestly am just so ecstatic that I can buy a house. I was able to be discovered on social media. And like at that time, I wasn't even a signed model, Nicolette. I was just doing my thing on social media, you know, posting, engaging, you know, doing all that like consistently. And they took notice because I do a lot of beauty stuff, you know, because remember, like back in like college days, I was doing makeup, and I continuously have a love for makeup. I'm kind of like the hype beast for makeup. Like I get all the new collabs, new collection. I honestly, looking at my bank statements, I spend way too much money on makeup, hair supplies, clothes. I'm like, oh, so you know, maybe it's like my dues are being paid back.
Yes, you know what? That is probably one of my favorite words, because a lot of people think that people's journeys really like just like people are just lucky, but it's really consistency, and that's
Yeah.
with everything in life. And I'm so happy that you have chosen to lean into yourself, because these like I feel like the universe totally responds to that, and your
Mm-hmm.
journey is a beautiful example of that for sure. Like it's
Thank
not.
you.
I mean, to even watch your what was that? It was like the Ulta video where you were doing makeup. Like it's amazing. Just that you're not just only a woman. You're a woman of color. You are a part of the curvy gang. You know what I mean? Like it is
Mm-hmm.
just beautiful that we live in the time that we do, because you're probably a lot younger than me, but for me being 33, it was rough.
Girl, we're like almost the same age. I am 31 years old and
Yes.
happy about it.
So there was a time where Old Navy was probably the only place that carried a 2X.
Yes.
There was these, like those little, like I call them like just little boutique stores where it's like Mode Plus, or it's always with like plus
Mm-hmm.
size, and that was the only thing that was available to us. So for little girls, and not just like any little girl, like plus size big girls, like the girls that are the only big one in their family.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have so many things like YouTube to see girls like you, or even like to have social media to see women like you living your authentic best life. I just feel so happy for them, because
Yeah.
we didn't really have any of that to reach from, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and I just feel like this is just a beautiful time, and just keep on doing what you're doing, because there's so many people that are watching, and I feel like it's just a blessing, because you're just inspiring so many girls, not just PINAY, but just women of color, to just keep on going forward. And consistency is just to keep on living in this and believing in this. And that's just so awesome. I'm just so thankful that you are on this path that you're on. It's just so beautiful. I want to leave off with because you just went through my whole bullet point, girl. Like it's just like I just love it. What advice would you give to little girls, women our age, just women in general, on accepting like their body and self worth? Like I just feel like that's the perfect way to leave off our convo.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very deep question. You
Yes,
honestly, like,
what did
you made me cry. I'm like,
I
I
is
feel
that
the
what it? Oh
love. I feel the love. I'm just like my
no!
tears. I think this whole interview I was crying. Um,
Oh,
my advice to, young girls who are plus size, women of color, and people who are listening to your podcast is, um, be true to yourself.
mm,
Accept that you're different and love your curves because you are beautiful. And even if no one says you're beautiful, like, just believe like you are, because one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be like looking in the mirror and say, yeah, I am beautiful and I am exactly what I need to be. I don't need to change for anybody. And take that, because you know what? If you lean into your differences, you are going to stand out, and the world will reward you for being true and genuine to who you are.
mm. Oh, I just love. This is like I feel like this is a combo that I have been manifesting in my life because it's just like I know that there's just so many girls who just need to hear this, and it was just perfect words. I love that. So beautiful. I just want to leave this off right here because this is just gonna be compact episode of just beautifulness. And I'm just so happy that you have said yes to me and letting me hold space for you, and you holding space for me. It's just amazing. I want people to find your beautifulness. Where can people find you? What is your social medias? Let us all have
Yes, I mainly am on Instagram. I do have a TikTok and YouTube and a Twitter, but I, mainly post on Instagram, and my username is Vanessa X Camille on all platforms. So,
it. Love it.
love to connect.
Yes, and her face is in all Ulta beauty stores. It is amazing. Like I walked by the other day and I'm just like, I was looking like a hot mess, so I did not take a selfie, but we are going to go and I'm going to tag you because that was just beautiful to see. I love it. Thank you so much
Thank
for joining
you.
me. It has been beautiful. Thank you so much. And I know that we will talk again for sure. This is not the last.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me, Nicolette. This has been so uplifting, and, like, honestly, I feel the love.
Oh my God, yes, so much love for you, girl. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that there, girl. This is just. I just want to say thank you so much because it probably was so weird getting my DM. I even told my husband I was